In this video, we will show you how to repair a broken Omega red coil push button with the push button repair kit. The tools that you'll need for this repair are wire cutters, cutters that are strong enough to cut through the red coil wire. You'll need a pair of pliers. Any kind of pliers will do. You'll need a common screwdriver. You'll need a set of wire strippers and a handy tool that would come in handy in this process is a multimeter, preferably one with an audible tone. So you have a red coil push button from Swiss Timing that no longer works. 9 times out of 10, the problem is up here in the sealed unit that you cannot get to repair. So to repair these push buttons, we sell the push button repair kit, which you have purchased. First step we need to do is we need to cut the red sealed housing from the coil wire. To do this, we're going to take our wire cutters and we're going to cut right on the edge on the bottom, and we're going to cut it clean off just like that. Take our wire strippers and we are going to strip back about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of the red insulation on the outside of the 2 wires. This will expose the 2 circuit wires on the inside. Step 3, we're going to continue with our wire strippers, and we are going to strip each wire about 1/2 inch. And in step 3 here, now that we have our main insulation stripped back, we have our 2 inside wires stripped back. Now we're going to take the ends of the wire and we're going to twist them nice and tight. So now we have our wires twisted. Okay, and now we need to feed them through our new button housing. So we're going to take the wires, we're going to push them together, we're going to feed them through the bottom of the button housing. And we're going to even push the housing down the coil part by spinning it just around a little bit so that we have plenty of cable coming through the top to work with. Now we can bring in our crimp connectors and we can put them on. Once we verify that our wires are twisted nice and tight, we're going to take our crimp connector and we're going to feed our wire through the bottom of it up as high as it'll go. Now sometimes you notice that you've stripped your wire back too far and it won't go all the way in. So one thing to do, okay, respin your wire, grab your wire cutters and trim the wire down just a little bit so that it fits nice and tightly in to your crimp. So it fits nice and tightly into your crimp and you can get a good connection. To make the crimp, we must crimp this part of our crimp. We can use our wire strippers if they have plier end on them. We can use needle nose pliers. We can use our channel locks, any kind of plier. We want to make sure that we press down nice and strong, make a good, tight crimp connection. Do it all the way across the crimp end. We're going to repeat and do the same thing on the other side. Remembering to trim our wire down just a little bit, retwist it, put our crimp connector in, take our pliers, and crimp down. So now that we have our crimp securely on our 2 bare circuit wires, Now we need to put the cap of our new button housing on the top of our button. Okay, the button's got 2 nuts on it. We want to unscrew the top nut first. We're going to take our button housing, put our button through the bottom of the housing, and then place the nut back on the top of the button. Once we have the button screwed down hand tight, we're going to take our pliers and tighten it down just a little tighter because we don't want the button to come loose. Nice and tight. So next step, we are going to take our quick connects and we're going to slide them on the terminal posts of our button. They just slide in and you'll hear a little click when the quick connect has engaged correctly on the terminal post. This would be a good time to take our multimeter and test the button to see if our repair worked. What we will do is we will turn on our multimeter and switch it to our audible tone for we will plug our ends of our red coil push button into our multi. We set it to check continuity, and simply all we do is press our button, and if it beeps and we want to connect it on the thick red insulated housing of our circuitry wire, we want to put it right here at the bottom. Okay, and that's going to act as a strain relief inside our button housing. Simply take our wire cutters, snip off the tail, and now we can thread our button housing back up and connect it to our button housing cap. You just want to push the two together, hear nice and click, look around, make sure it's nice and tight, and we can check our button one more time. We get that nice audible tone, and our button is now repaired. Thanks for watching.